Hello everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Donna. Today I'm baking up some chocolate chip cherry cookies. I wanted to jump on, as always, I always say, to share it with you guys, and that's what I'm going to do. So here we have, I'm going to jump right in. I have 3¼ cups of all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to be adding in 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch. That's 1½ tablespoons. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch. Or baking soda, I'm sorry, I already said cornstarch. Baking soda. And that's 1½ teaspoons of that one. So I'll repeat it. 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, and I'm just going to give this a whisk, mix it up. These are some good cookies. Chewy, thick, soft, cherries, chocolate. Can't go wrong with that. Alright, get it all mixed up good. Once we get it into our wet, we don't want to overmix. So here's where we want to mix everything up really good. Okay. Now, I'll set this out of the way. Over here, let me wipe this up here. Over here in my bowl, I have 1 cup, and I do use salted. By all means, use unsalted if that's what you have. And I have 1 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of granulated white sugar. Now, I don't know if I brought that up. I don't think I did a while ago. When you pack your flour cups, be sure not to pack them. Level them off. If you're not sure, ask somebody. Go back on some of my videos on my cookies. It's important that you measure properly your flour. Because if you pack them cups with flour, you're getting too much in there and you're going to have a dry, hard cookie. So pack them, spoon it in. Or scoop it in and level it off, but just don't pack them. And I have 1 tablespoon of canola oil. Okay. And I am going, now you can get your handy dandy mixer out or your beater. I am not going to bother with that for something that doesn't have to be whipped up that long. I'm just going to beat this up for maybe a minute till it's light and creamy. Alright, I beat that up maybe a minute, minute and a half till it's nice and fluffy and light. And to that I'm going to add 1 egg at a time and just get this mixed in. And make sure your butter and your eggs are at room temperature. Mixed in. There goes egg 2. Now while that's there, I have 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. That just helps the flavor of the cherry along. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Let's get this all mixed in. You got the idea. I'm just going to get that mixed in. Alrighty. Got that all mixed in. Now, my dry ingredients. We'll put in there maybe half of it. And just kind of fold it over up on itself. Moving it around in there. And then I'll add the rest in. Alright, I got the rest of my flour added in there. Mixed it up. You can still see dry patches of flour. And once you see that, let's get those chips in. I have a 16 or 12 ounce bag or 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate morsels of your choice. And we're gonna get these mixed in here. Now once this is just about all coming together, and it is, there's a little bit of dry on the bottom, just kind of scrape the bottom good. Okay, because we don't want to overmix too much because we get those cherries in there. We don't want to break them all up. Okay, we have that. Now here I have 1 cup of cherries, and make sure, even if it's 2 hours before you make the cookies, drain them well. Cut them in half and drain them well. Okay, let me get the cherries for those who are not familiar with them. This is what I used. But make sure you drain them and pat them really well with paper towel. You want to get those as dry as possible. Keep patting them, okay? So we'll get, you can see there how the bottom of the bowl, I have hardly any juices because I did drain those well and patted them really well. Now this is where you want to be careful. Just until you get them all mixed in. Don't that look good already, guys? But I'm just going to fold that in a little bit more, and I'm going to refrigerate it for at least a half hour. And then we'll get them baking. In about maybe 15 minutes after it's been chilling, I'll go ahead and preheat my oven to 375. All right? Now with that bag of chocolate chips, if you'd like, just for piercing them when they come out of the oven for presentation, you can save some of them. I save maybe 1/4 cup of them, or if you have some extra, whatever, if you like more chocolate, open up another bag and just pierce the cookie with those once the cookies come out of the oven for presentation. So if you want to save a little bit out of that bag, go ahead and do so. Okay, my dough's been chilling. Don't skip on this part because this is what, you know, helps them stay thick, because you want that butter to firm back up in your cookie dough. So don't skip on the chilling for a half hour. I wouldn't go any further because the longer you chill it, the longer your baking time is it's gonna be different for you. So try to stick with the half hour if you can, or adjust your cooking time if you chill it longer. All right, now I have my parchment lined baking sheet. Now what I like to do with most of my cookies is I'll make a little log out of them, like roll them in between my hand, like so. Let me show you. And I use a 2 tablespoon cookie scoop for these. Let me get this off. Okay, there's my 2 tablespoons. And what I'll do is just roll it into a log, just like that. And then put it on your parchment and slightly press it. See there, so it stands up for you. Now make sure you press it gently because you don't want this cookie dough flopping over in the oven, and that will happen. But pressing it assures that it's going to stay put, okay? So that's what we're going to do there. And we'll put them a couple inches apart. We'll get them into the oven. I'll let you know how long mine take. Our ovens all vary, so I'm going to bake them and let you know what mine took. So I'll get this lined up and get them in the oven. Alrighty, my friends, there's the finished cookies. Mine took exactly 16 minutes. Now, yours can take anywhere between 13 to 17 minutes. It just depends on ovens. They vary. Now, these cookies are going to look, when you touch them, you're going to think, oh, those are not done. But they will finish setting up as they cool. Do not overbake them. Because if you bite in that cookie and it's hard and dry, you overbaked it. So don't confuse it. You just got to get the hang of knowing when that cookie's done. And then let them set on the cookie sheet while they'll carry over cook a minute or so. and let that cookie cool down and remove it and let it sit. But always, like I tell everybody, to test batch it. Do one cookie, bake one cookie, and see how long it takes you to cook yours. Let it set and cool a good half hour, then break it in two. You want it more underdone than you do overbaked, but you want it done. So it's like catching that in, getting it right, you know, in between. But like I said, mine took exactly 16 minutes. The first batch took 17 minutes. Now yours could take 14, 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. Don't overbake them. That's very important. And when they cool completely, you can store them, like I always say, store them in some Ziploc bags, because they hold on to moisture, and these cookies will get really soft and delicious within the longer they set, the better. I like to make them the night before, set them in the baggies, and then the next day eat them, because they get real nice and soft and chewy. But I pierce them with some chocolate chips, and once those, they're still warm, but once those set up and no longer melty, I'll go ahead and store those in some Ziploc bags. But anyway, you guys give them a try. Let me know what you think. And until next time, please like and subscribe. As always, it truly helps my channel, you guys. And you guys stay blessed, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Enjoy the cookies.